Hi everybody, it's Tatiana, and today I'm coming to you with a book review. I am going to be doing a review of Styxx by Sherrilyn Kenyon, her twin brother. If you are not familiar with the Sherrilyn Kenyon Dark Hunter novels, all I can do is suggest that you read some. I think Styxx is number 24 in the series. I think there are 25 or 26 released books up to this point. And the Chronicles of Nyx series is a spin-off of the Dark Hunter novels. As I said, Styxx is Acheron's twin brother, around the age of 5 or 6. They are separated, and as a result of that separation, they basically both grow up hating each other. And every story of Styxx that we have gotten up to this point has been from Acheron's perspective. And Acheron and Styxx's perspectives of each other's lives are skewed, of course, because they did not grow up together. They both think that they lived the perfect life, when the fact of the matter is that neither one of them lived the most ideal life. Pooh on Sherrilyn Kenyon for only giving us Acheron's point of view for so long, because those of us who read the series have been conditioned to hate Styxx, because Styxx is always portrayed as this, self-serving, selfish, evil bastard who has done absolutely nothing but hurt Acheron and his sister, and has been the bane of their existence because he's just so mean and so rude. And in reading his story, we find that that is not the case. Styxx's story is as difficult to read as Acheron's, but you get so much more information about Styxx. Styxx's story is about 100 and something pages longer than Acheron's, simply because we don't have any information about Styxx other than from Acheron's perspective in the other books. So this story gives us every detail of Styxx's life, the good, the bad, and the ugly. It gives you such a different view on a character that you have really been conditioned to hate for 20-something books. It's so interesting as a reader to have been fed this information about this character who is so closely linked to one of the most influential and strongest characters in a series, and then come to find out that what you think is nothing like what it actually is. Styxx comes out on paperback in March of this year, and I am so looking forward to it because I have to buy it. What I want to do is tab both of the stories so that I can read and go tab them, because both stories are written by date. So I want to go through and tab each date in chronological order in both of the books, so that I can, when I reread them, I can reread them together and read them in chronological order, going from one story to the other. That may sound really, really confusing, but as a huge fan of this series and someone who loves Acheron and has been totally mind-fucked over this portrayal of Acheron in this story, seeing him from Styxx's perspective just really changes a lot about what you think about him. So I will say, in both stories, what stays the same is that the characters that you end up really, really hating are the characters of the gods. You have multiple pantheons that are brought into the Dark Hunter series, but the prominent pantheon through all the series is the Greek pantheon and the Atlantean pantheon. And I absolutely the gods are portrayed as these self-serving, self-centered assholes who basically use humans for fodder, and they can, they are just their peons, and they can do with them whatever they want and not give a kitty about the consequences. And as there are so many other stories that portray at least the Greek gods, these benevolent beings who love humankind, and when their champions or human families are hurt or betrayed, they become, these gods of vengeance who want to seek out and smite the evil ones who have hurt their chosen people, their chosen champions, whatever. But what Sherrilyn Kenyon does a good job of doing in these Dark Hunter novels is taking that idea and just throwing it on its ear, because they are just, oh, they are such jerks. I thoroughly enjoyed this story. It is a whopper of a tale, and actually after reading this, because I only updated on Goodreads on the days that I read this novel, so I think it took me like a total of 6 or 7 days to read it. After reading this, I feel much more ready and prepared to read A Song of Ice and Fire. At first I was thinking I was not going to be able to read that in a year, but I'm thinking that I might be able to. So yeah, I look forward to starting that at least, and if I can finish that, that will be my complete a series for the year goal. I was going to do Vampire Academy, and there's just, outside of the reviews on BookTube and the people who rave about it, there is really nothing that presses me to want to read that series. I'm on the fence about that. I may still read it, but I may just try and tackle the complete series of A Song of Ice and Fire. What is the problem with reading adult series novels is that adult series novels don't tend to end. Styxx is the 24th book, I think, in an exceptionally long series. The Carpathian novels that I am reading, the book that I'm waiting for through the library is book 28 in a series, and I started reading both of these. I started reading the Dark Hunter series in 2009, and I read Acheron in 2010, and it's 2014, and there are still new books coming out, and it's the same thing with the Dark series by Sherrilyn Kenyon. So the likelihood of me being able to read an adult series from start to finish in 1 year is really, really hard or slim, because adult series are not ending. If you have not read any of the Dark Hunter novels by Sherrilyn Kenyon, I say read them. They are great stories. They are, I mean, the way that Dark Hunters are created, who the Dark Hunters are, but when they die and then who they become as Dark Hunters, is great stories of vengeance, great stories of redemption. I would suggest, if you haven't read one, if you haven't read any, read some, and read some for no other reason than to know where I'm coming from when I talk about how much I hated Styxx prior to reading his novel, because Styxx is not a character that you really see in the Dark Hunter novels for an extended period of time. You see Acheron, because Acheron is the leader of the Dark Hunters, but you don't really see Styxx. So everything that you hear about Styxx and learn about Styxx is negative. Go for it. Read it. Give it a go. I did read these in order. You don't have to read them in order, but some of the characters they're recurring characters, so I did read these in order. So yeah, give it a go. And that's all that I have for today. Y'all have a good weekend, whenever you see this video. Peace out.